Eli expressed some frustration with the lack of physicality tonight. Is that something that you noticed too?
I'm sorry, elaborate on that?
Eli expressed frustration with the lack of physicality. He's talked about the fact that this isn't high school basketball anymore. This isn't another conference. This is the Big Ten. He doesn't think that you guys have been physical enough to this point of the season. I was curious if that's something you agree with.
Well, that's his opinion, and that's something that we will definitely identify and see how we can improve. Because in this league, you definitely have to have a certain type of grit about you if you want to play in the Big Ten.
Anyone else? Next question.
Juwan, Hunter said he thought they'd bring more double teams in the second half at him. Would you agree with that? And if so, how do you guys go about countering that?
Yeah, I'll have to go back to the film and look, but I didn't see a ton of double teams. And we will go on the film. We'll go back and look at the film and see where the double team, where he feels there was a double team occurred. I will make sure that we look at it as a team, and also Hunter and I will look at it together.
I'll start with Steve.
Hey, Juwan. You guys did the tough thing, being down by 16, having a 10-0 run, and make it put yourself in a winnable situation. Talk about what your team did well there, and then what they failed to do after that run to win the game.
Well, we cut the lead to 4, I believe, 62-66, and we had the ball, and we got a paint touch, and Hunter got the ball in the paint. And, the ball came off his palm when he went to shoot it, and it's just tough to make shots like that. That was one possession where we could have truly cut it to 2, and it would have been more pressure on them. But unfortunately, they made a run and then looked back. But what got us back was our defensive pressure. Where we got up into a 12, 1-2-2 zone in the full court, and caused some turnovers there. And then we also went back on the defensive end half court, and we were in the zone because there were times when we were man, we didn't do a good job of keeping the man in front, blow by, downhill, or a guy end up catching it in the corner, blow by, layup. So that's why I made an adjustment, went to a zone, and the zone stalled them, and it allowed us to get back into a run. But then that possession keeps coming back in my head. We were down 62-66. That one hurt.
Yeah, in the second half, Minnesota started on a 12-4 run. What do you think kind of went wrong in the second half?
Yes, I just really felt like, we was not ready. We was not ready to start the half, mentally or physically. And there were too many blow-bys on the ball screen, where a guy ended up switching, and we have one of our bigger guys switching onto a perimeter and not doing a good job of talking and getting our matchups. And so, they were able to take advantage of that. And then the battle made some tough shots, mid-range, speaking of, because knowing that he was a very good three-point shooter, he only made one tonight, but in the second half, it was just mainly just pull-up jumpers, mid-range, where we didn't make anything challenging for him at all. He was just too comfortable in the second half.
Andrew?
I know how much you value defense, so I guess how frustrating is it that, like you just said, man-to-man wasn't working and you had to go through.
Well, when the team scores 62% in the second half and also scores 43 points in the second half, and we only scored 29, and you gotta look at the defensive end. That right there was not a defensive effort that I felt that we could have done a much better job with 40 minutes. We can't have those moments where we have good possessions where we defend and then not defend 5 or 6 possessions. There was just too much inconsistency today.
You feel you have the pieces though to be the defensive team you want to be? You have the personnel to do it, yes?
Oh, we're growing in that area.
Juwan,
Minnesota had, I think, one turnover in the second half. I don't think they turned it over again until later on. I mean, is that part just a flawless play or Michigan's lack of turning them over more than ever?
Well, we got them to turn the ball over in the second half, and that's how we were able to get that run and cut the lead down. If you look at it, where a couple 10-second calls, also the ball hitting off the hand, one of the players' hand and going out of bounds. But we got to be able to do a better job of having more consistency throughout it, not just during the stretch when you're trying to fight back in it, but have that type of defensive disposition for 40 minutes.
Anybody have anything else? All right, Coach, good evening.